Now I am really interested to see what is going to happen now. I am kind of getting invested in this series now. Now after seeing this episode, finding out the backstory of Yuma, getting to see exactly how his hair went white, even the overall objective setup for the next in-game goal for whatever arc is coming up, I'm quite excited. I'm actually really excited to see where this is going to go. So, this episode of World Trigger. For the most part, a lot of stuff happened, actually. There is a lot of information you can get from this episode. So, right off the bat, I want to talk about the past, the backstory of Yuma. So, we find out how Yuma got his hair to turn white from black, and also, we found out how he got the black trigger, or how his father technically died, and what events led up to that very point. So, for the most part, you had it to where Yuma's father says, do not enter the battle. Do not enter the battle at all. Yuma disobeyed his father's orders, went into battle, thinking he was hotshot, and he got wrecked pretty fucking hard. Now, the person that wrecked Yuma in the flashback, I have no idea who it is, but judging by the form, the appearance, and the way the face was shaded out, that's definitely going to be a massive villain way off in the future. That villain right there is going to be very important, or whoever that was. I'm willing to bet it. And that's going to definitely be one major key plot point way off in the future, maybe 20 or 30 episodes from now. Maybe even the final villain of this 50-episode run of World Trigger. So, anyways, back on topic. We found out when Yuma's father turned himself into a black trigger, he actually willingly turned himself into a black trigger. It wasn't like he was very depressed and like at this time of death he turned into a black trigger. He actually, with his own will, he turned his own self into a black trigger to save his son. So we found out how black triggers are made, like how they come about. For instance, let's say if I had a dying son and all that, and I wanted to save him, I could turn myself into a black trigger, kill myself, and save my son, pretty much. So, I think that's the overall aspects it works, but probably a lot more complicated than that when it comes to Treon and stuff, but I mean, that's just pretty much at first glance. So, the thing is, okay, Yuma blames himself. Clearly in this episode, his trauma is where he blames himself for his father's death. For instance, his father died because Yuma decided not to listen to his father and decided to rush in and fight. He got wrecked. He was about to die. His father saved his son's life by giving up his life and making himself into a black trigger to seal his son's weakened and pretty much almost dead body into the black trigger and making it to where Yuma has like a Treon-based body. So, we found out that technically Yuma is always in, like, his trigger form. Like, he always has a Treon body. And his real body is actually in the black trigger. So, finding out this information actually kind of opened my eyes a little bit. I'm like, huh. It's like, whoa. So, Yuma, technically, he's still dying. Like, he is still dying. He still has holes all in him, as we could see from when, you know, the flashback. So, he's going to die. He has an expiration date. Pretty much, he's dying at a slow pace, but he's still dying, so eventually this is going to become a problem in the series. I know for a fact that right there is going to become a massive problem because, I mean, Yuma's going to be getting closer and closer to death because even though his body is sealed in the black trigger, doesn't necessarily mean that he is safe from death like a normal human being. So, he's going to die. Probably soon. I don't know, maybe 4 years from now in the series time, so, I mean, possibility. So, besides the entire aspect with the black triggers and the flashbacks and stuff like that, we have the overall setup with Osamu, Chika, and, you know, Yuma forming a team at the end of this episode. And that's one of the main events you can get from this episode that sets up for the upcoming arc. With these three forming a team, or a border team, pretty much, their objective in sight is to go to the neighbor's world, save the brother of Chika, and save the friends that were abducted, probably find out where these people are that's getting abducted around the border, you know, the big giant freaking fortress of border, finding out where they're getting abducted to, and pretty much bringing them back. That's pretty much the overall objective, and getting to an A-class rank in the process before they can actually go to the neighbor's world. So that is the objective. An overall great setup episode. It was a great episode. I love it. And even though the animation could be a lot better, it was still a damn good episode. I mean, hey, like, damn. I'm loving the story. I'm really loving the story. I really am. So tell me your thoughts. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.